This conference will now be recorded.
Customer payment is also similar to your vendor payment. Whatever the payment we have seen so far for vendor, normal payment, on account payment, partial payment, residual payment, everything will remain as it is for your customer payment also. So let us take one customer account. We will pass certain entries and clear the customer payments. And then we will see whether we find any difference in customer payment and vendor payment. So far, whatever we have done for vendor payment is exactly the same for your customer. Let us pull any one customer outstanding report. For customer outstanding report FBL 51, let me take our company code DEIN and execute. Currently, there is no outstanding for customer payment. Let us make sure if we have created any customer master or not. For checking if there are any customer master or not for our company code, it is always recommended we verify from the table level. For table SE16N, from SE16N for customer, is it LFB1 table or KNB1 table? Which table will give customer at company code level?
KNB1.
Let me go to KNB1. I'll go to KNB1. I'll pass company code DEIN and let me execute this. There is one customer account which is already created. Let me take this customer account and I'll try to pull the report for this customer account. Execute. There is no outstanding or there are no transactions posted in this customer account. What we need to do, first we need to make certain entries in the customer account. Basically, in your customer account, you will be passing sales related transaction. For any sales related transaction, your accounting entry will be customer account debit, sales revenue account credit. Now, to pass this accounting entry, you need customer account, which we already have. We need a sales account. In short, the revenue related GL account is required. Let us check which sales revenue account we have created in our company code. Let me go to FS00 DEIN company code. We need sales. Let me take domestic sales and domestic sales GL. One point that you need to remember here is majoritarily any sales GL account that you have is not supposed to have manual postings. When you're working in real environment, the moment you bring FIST integration into picture, all your sales GL accounts will have no access to manual postings, which means all the sales GL accounts should have the setting called post automatically only. That is a mandatory setting for all your sales related GL account once you start using the system in the real environment, because your sales GL account is always updated, your sales GL account is always posted based on VKOS setting or based on FISD integration. Okay, automatic account determination will bring the sales account into the picture. No manual entries are allowed. If you wanted to create any manual entry in the sales account, we need to make sure we will be creating a separate GL account wherein manual sales are booked, but not the same GL account for integrated sales and for the normal sales. Clearer? Do not use sales GL account for normal postings and do not remember in that way. For now, during the practice, we may be posting manual entries, but in real time, this is not possible. Strictly not possible to pass manual entries in the sales account. One sec, it is. Accounts receivable, everybody configured, right? Everyone is able to create the customer master.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the create bank interest, we need to make sure this post automatically only is enabled for all your sales related GL accounts. because majoritarily the sales GL accounts are auto posted based on the ST integration. And this sales GL account is updated in VKOA transaction code as part of FISD integration. For now, I am posting a manual entry in this, but remember in real time, no manual entries in the sales account. If you need any manual entries to be recorded in sales account, we have to create another GL account wherein you can book the manual sales. To book the entry, let me go to FB50 or F-22 normal sales account, similar to vendor invoice F-43. F-22 is your customer invoice. Let me book this invoice, let's say on 4th July. I'll put sales 1. For customer, posting keys will be 1 and 11. Customer debit will be 01, customer credit will be 11. Or anything which is debiting your customer will start from 1 to 9. Anything which is starting from 11 to 19 is your customer credit. Clear up? 0 to 9 is your customer debit. 11 to 19 is your customer credit. So based on the posting key also, slowly you have to start understanding what is the nature of account for this posting key, whether this posting key is debit or credit. 01 is customer because we are trying to record customer invoice. System will ask you to input, tell me the customer code in which you want to record the entry. Once you put your customer code, let's say this is our customer code 9 all zeros 4151. I'll put this customer code for customer manual sales related entry. DR will be the document type. Press enter. It is telling number range 18 is missing. Let's open another screen. FBN1 for number ranges. DEIN change intervals. Add another line 18 for year 2023. Logic is 18 followed by all zeros, 18 followed by all lines. Save the number range. Next, press enter. Let's say I will take the amount of 10,000 as a sales. Here also the same concept, baseline date, which means your due date is calculated based on the due date. Any customer payment you will be receiving based on the due dates. Now these due dates are determined from your payment terms. Payment terms are again of two types: normal payment terms, installment payment terms. We will be configuring payment terms from tomorrow onwards. Payment terms, down payment, we will close tomorrow. Next, invoice reference. As usual, same logic. Whenever you pass any credit memo, you have to use invoice reference. Assignment, let's say text, I'll put invoice number 1. Credit will be in your sales account. You need to look at what is the sales revenue GL account. 31 1 all zeros is your domestic sale. Let me take this GL account and I'll put this here. This is also customer account. Customer is a subledger. For subledger account, no profit center. You are not able to see any profit center here, which means your customer invoice will also perform the document splitting based on active method. In short, active document splitting method will give the profit center to your customer account. Offsetting we are taking to the GL account. In GL account, same amount. In GL account, same amount. You need to make sure you will provide the profit center for this account because this is a cost element. In short, this is called as revenue element. DEIN01. After giving DEIN01, your error message disappears. Sometimes what will happen if you have also implemented COPA. If your COPA is implemented, if you create any GL account as revenue cost element, when we talk about revenue cost element, we are talking about this. In the GL account control data, the cost element category, if you put 01, that will become your cost element, in short, expense related GL account. Sometimes you will have the income or revenue related GL accounts. For all your income or revenue related GL accounts, you will be selecting cost element category as 11, which is revenue. If you have configured COPA, if COPA is configured, whenever you create any entry into the revenue GL account, in short, any income related GL account which is created as a cost element, along with profit center, profitability segment becomes mandatory. Along with profit center, profitability segment becomes mandatory. For that, you need to click on this document, more. If you click on more here, you will see one option like this called real estate object. Similarly, you will get another option called profitability segment. Let me bring that field and then show you again. Because this is one of the common errors that you get when you're in a project, because in most of the projects, COPA will be implemented. When you try to record any entry manually to any revenue related, in short, any income related HCL account, if you put only profit center, system will throw an error. It will tell that enter true account assignment for profitability. You need to ensure COPA related settings are updated. For that, let me go to this GL account. We are using G001 in this. I'll go to OBC4. Our group was DEGR. Select this group, go inside the field status group. G001 is what we are talking about. In this additional account assignments, you will find something called profitability segment. Take this profitability segment, make it as optional. This profitability segment talks about COPA related assignment. Save this, continue. Now COPA, I have made it optional. Let me come back to this entry. I have to re-enter to make sure the settings will reflect. F-22, same date, sales 1, customer account debit, 10,000, something in the text. Credit will go to your sales GL account. Same amount I will give. Same text I'll give. If you see here, you are getting an error message. Alright, we are getting an error message asking us to input account 311 all zeros requires an assignment to a CO object, cost object. Now, so far, whenever we were getting this error message, we normally think it's all about cost center. Because the moment you look at this error, first thing that strikes our mind is cost center, but that is wrong. You have to look at for which GL account this error message is coming. If it is related to expense related GL account, you're right, system is looking for a cost center or internal order. But if this error message is coming for revenue related GL account, there you need to check whether you have COPA implemented or not. If COPA is implemented, it is not only asking about profit center, it is also asking for profitability segment. If COPA is implemented, it's not just about profit center. Profit center will not resolve your problem if COPA is implemented for any revenue related GL account. If I put profit center, now this is giving a message, enter a true account assignment object with revenues. This is just a warning message, I can ignore this. It is accepting my entry because we have not yet configured the COPA profitability. In short, we are yet to create operating concern. When you create the operating concern, you need to decide whether you want to evaluate or check your profitability, in short COPA, based on accounting based approach or costing based approach. So once you decide how your COPA will receive the transaction values from finance, from sales, from from different modules to it for your internal reporting analysis purpose, for product level profitability, how you want to gather the information from various modules you need to configure, for which your financial manual JVs will also flow to COPA. Anything that you are updating in the revenue GL account will directly hit COPA, for which you need to make sure this GL account is updated with profit center. At the same time, profitability segment is also updated. You see profitability segment here. In this profitability segment, there is a right arrow mark. In this profitability segment, there is a right arrow mark. Once you fill it up, once you update the COPA or profitability segment, this will be having some kind of color in it. Maybe some green color, some color will come inside this. This arrow mark will be highlighted, stating which this COPA segment has been filled up. What I will do now, let me click on this arrow mark, profitability segment. Sometimes you will find it here. If you don't find it here, you need to click on this more. Inside more, you will find here like this, profitability segment. If you are unable to find this here, you need to go to more and then you will find it here. Since we are able to see it here itself, let me click on this sales. Now I will open the profitability segment. If I click on profitability segment, I am getting an error message at the bottom. The moment I click on profitability segment, one error message is coming at the bottom, which is talking about no operating concern has been assigned to controlling area DEGR. Right? Now, for you to use COPA, for you to use profitability segment, operating concern is mandatory, because COPA is part of operating concern and your operating concern will have the connection with your controlling area. Whatever the company code that you are posting, your company code is connected to controlling area. In short, company code is assigned to controlling area and your controlling area is connected to operating concern, or your company code is assigned to operating concern. Inside, under the operating concern, you will have controlling area. Under controlling area, you will have company code. If somebody is asking you about organization structure, you should always begin from operating concern. Once you create the operating concern, under the operating concern, you will be creating a controlling area. Under the controlling area, you will be creating company codes. Right? If you want to use anything related to controlling module, you must ensure your company code is assigned to a controlling area. Once your company code is assigned to a controlling area, only then it is possible for you to use controlling related objects like your cost center, profit center, whatever it is not possible if you do not assign your company code to a controlling area. Similarly, if you want to use profitability segment or COPA, you must assign your controlling area for which your company code is assigned. That controlling area must be assigned to a operating concern. Currently, this operating concern setting is missing. That is why it is telling there is no operating concern. You cannot use profitability segment. Profitability segment or COPA is used only if operating concern is created. If not, it cannot be used. We will be creating later on this operating concern. Now, since operating concern is not created, COPA is out of scope. When somebody is asking, you have to tell we have not implemented and all. Instead, you tell that COPA was not in scope for our implementation. When you say that COPA was not in your scope, this represents COPA module is not implemented. You can tell that client was planning to implement COPA later on. Maybe in phase 2 or in wave 2, they wanted to implement COPA. You can tell like this, especially in your interviews if somebody is asking. Because not all the clients will implement everything in one go. First, they will implement the basic mandatory modules. Later on, they will implement the remaining modules in the phase-wise implementations. So I'll give this, enter. Let me simulate. This is your customer account debit, sales account credit. Let me click on save. This is giving an error message. Global official numbering. Input parameter complete. What is this? The system found a missing or incomplete input parameter for the global official numbering functionality. This is probably due to a program error. Global official numbering. Anybody got this error?
Yeah, so I also faced the same error, sir, while posting this entry.
You're able to resolve this error?
It is regard to
Uh,
ODM number.
I checked it, sir, but it is, didn't result.
Where we need to go?
uh, globe cross application component,
Cross application components.
general application function. Now cross application document numbering from bottom fifth one. India.
India. India is not here. Which one? Fifth one?
Check the number range maintenance for your business place in T code SNRO.
SNRO is a common table for checking all the number ranges.
For the object J underscore 1IG underscore ODM. J underscore 1IG underscore ODM.
This one?
Yes, sir.
Warning, no rolling. What is this? No rolling. This is actually not supposed to come here. Maybe somebody activated GST related settings. OBBG. For India, RAMIN, let me remove this and then I'll put DEIN. Let me try once again posting this. Sales 1. That is actually not relevant to us because we have not yet set up taxation. Amount, profit center, sales 1. Let me simulate general ledger, expert mode. It's not giving any message. Let me go back. Try to post. Same message, official numbering.
Sir, once go to financial accounting.
Financial accounting.
Once financial global settings, taxation on sales and purchase. Basic settings. India, GST, general settings.
Sir, I did that.
Yeah.
After that, general settings, cross application document numbering. Assign document types are good. These things we need to know.
Yeah. Here somebody maintained this. DR is here. Create official document number range. For DR, let me remove it. You know, somebody would have created this number using pre-number form, or I'll simply remove this. I'm not deleting that record because we do not know who kept it there for what their practice purpose. Let me try using it now. Sale 1, customer account, debit, sales account, profit center, simulate. Let me try to post now. Okay, now the entry is posted. So I've not removed it. What I did, I just removed this official document number range, made it as blank. Currently these controls were there A, B, C, E, F. I just made it as this one, or you can also put as not relevant. Let me put not relevant and I'll try to pass one more entry to verify if this is generating another document or not. Let me pass one more entry. Sales number 2, same customer account. Let's say 20,000. Invoice number 2, credit to the sales GL account, same amount, profit center, invoice number 2. Simulate and will post this. Even if you put not relevant, it is working. So remember this path if you get that error once again when you're practicing. Okay, in your taxation, India, you have to maintain this assign document type to document classes. Clear, right? Remember this path. In your financial accounting global settings, tax on sales and purchases. In this, go to India. In India, cross application, document numbering. Inside this, assign document type to document classes. Open this. Look at the document type for which you are getting the error. Make sure that the document type is assigned here, and from here remove that force number and put this official numbering control as not relevant. Then that error message will not come for your company code or for your document type. Come back. Next one, currently we posted 2 documents, one for 10,000, one for 20,000. After posting the 2 document numbers, our outstanding will be 20,000 plus 10,000, which is 30,000. 30,000 is receivable from your customer. It must show a positive balance or a debit balance in customer account, because your customer account is current asset. Any asset will show a positive or debit balance. If I run the report as on today, the expectation is to show 30,000 as outstanding. You are able to see 30,000 as outstanding here. Assuming out of this 30,000 for a particular invoice, for invoice number 2, for this one, let's say there is a return of 5,000. If there is a return of 5,000 in this second invoice, you need to pass a credit memo similar to vendor credit memo. For posting customer credit memo, what is the transaction? F dash
This one 40.
the normal traditional transaction code. F dash 22 series. What is the transaction code for customer credit memo?
FD75.
No, that is your single screen. F dash 2 series will be there. So whenever you do not remember any transaction code, do not go to Google it. Do not Google it. Instead, you make a habit of opening the SAP menu. If you don't find SAP menu here, you need to click on these icons here. You will find SAP menu here. Click on SAP menu. Sometimes you may see user menu here. Sometimes this may appear like this. If it is appearing like this, you will not be able to check the easy access screen, for which click on this icon, SAP menu. From this, go to accounting. In accounting, financial accounting. Inside the financial accounting, accounts receivable is what we are talking about, because you are posting customer related transaction. Open accounts receivable. In this, you are trying to pass the entry. Any entry that you are posting is part of document entry. Open document entry. In this, you need to check. We posted invoice using this invoice general screen F-22. Sometimes you may get transaction code displayed here. Sometimes transaction code is not displayed here. If your transaction codes are not displayed here, go to extras, click on settings. You need to tick this display technical name. If you click on this display technical name, you will be able to see the transaction code here. If you don't tick that, it will only show you invoice general invoice, which is the T code. It will not show unless and until you open it. Make sure you keep these settings open. You are aware of these settings. Tomorrow, even when you are in a project, if you do not know about a particular transaction code, it is not suggestible to do a Google search in front of anybody to find out the T code. That looks very bad. Instead, open the SAP Easy Access or SPRO, try to find out where it is, but not Google it. in front of your users, in front of your colleagues or anybody, especially for the T codes. And that too for simple T codes like this. It's not, there's no rule that you need to remember all this, but there is no rule that you have to Google it. If you are not remembering, that is accepted, but if you are Googling, that is not accepted. Right? Go like this and open. Now here you got to know invoice is F-22. Similar to F-22 for credit memo, it is F-27. Open F-27. Document type that we are using here is DG. We know that DG we are using for the first time. You will receive an error message related to number range. Open this DG document type to update the number range. For document type OBA7. In OBA7, let us look at DG, customer credit memo. Number range is 16. Click on number range information from this. DEIN, change interval. 16 is currently not updated. Add a new entry. 16 for year 2023. Logic is 16 followed by all zeros, 16 followed by all lines. Click on save.
Sir,
Okay, now yes.
why system is SAP has given two screen means FB70 and F.23 so 27 means for means different same customer posting. Why it has been provided two screens? Means what's the
So
logic means behind?
one screen is used for traditional postings or classic posting, wherein you will have to provide the debit credit along with the posting key. If you're whatever we are using now, here you need to provide debit credit along with the posting key. When you use FB70 or FB75, that's a single screen transaction or enjoy transaction in which there is no concept of a posting a key. So you call it as a single screen because you can complete the posting within a single screen. You don't need to switch between three screens. If you have two line items, you have to switch between three screens on this transaction. Count, this is the screen number 1. Correct?
Yes, sir.
I'll pass this entry here and then I'll pass one more credit memo in the other screen. Let me put today's date. I'll put credit memo 1. Now in the previous entry, when you posted invoice, you have debited your customer account. The default posting key was a 101 customer debit. When you are posting a credit memo, system is giving you default posting key as 11, which is customer credit. Let us credit our customer. This is your screen number 2. Previous screen number 1, this is your screen number 2. Let's say the credit memo is for 1000. I'll put credit memo 1. Now previous screen, what we did in the previous entry, you debited customer account, you credited sales account. In the credit memo, you are crediting sales account, which means you need to debit, you are crediting customer account, you need to debit sales account. For sales, debit posting key 40, take the sales GL account.
Sir,
In
in case
previous
if we
entry,
forgot, sir, in case if we forgot what's the posting key, so
if you forget the
then what?
posting key, at the posting key screen, you just open the drop down. Okay, now you know that to which account you are posting the entry. You must be aware whether you are posting the entry to a customer account, GL account, vendor account, asset account. Now here you have account type here. This account type, if you sort, A represent asset, C represent customer, account type M is material, G is GL account, V is vendor account. Now we are trying to debit or credit whatever it is to a GL account. You need to look at account type starting from G. There are so many G's here. With this so many G's, you need to select the posting key related to debit GL account, posting key related to credit GL account. To debit a GL account, your posting key is 40. It talks about posting key 40 account type GL, G, and a debit credit indicator D, debit entry. In short, posting key 40 is GL debit, posting key 50 is GL credit. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now we need to debit to the sales account because you are crediting to the customer account. If your customer account is credited, sales account must be debited. Put debit to the sales account, put star to bring the same amount, profit center, and credit memo number 1. Let us simulate this. This is what the entry. Customer account is being credited here. Your sales account is being debited. Once you pass this entry for 1000, currently the customer outstanding is showing 30,000. After passing this entry for 1000 credit memo, this 30,000 outstanding should come down to 29,000. Correct? After this entry, your outstanding from 30 should become 29 because you are posting a credit in the customer account. You are posting a credit in customer account. This will reduce the balance in the customer account. Let me click on save this. Credit memo has been posted, 16 all zeros. Let's go to customer account and I'll try to refresh the data. Now the amount has become 29,000. Same logic, if we forgot to update something, whenever we post any credit memo, we need to ensure the original invoice number is updated there. In short, the invoice reference is mandatory for any credit memo transaction. Here what we did, we posted the entry, but we forgot to update the invoice reference. What you will do, open the document. From the top, go to document, you want to change it. Click on change. This document will get displayed. Your customer account line item, you have to double click. Your customer account line item is the line item number 1. Double click on this. If you see this, you will see a field called invoice reference. This is the invoice reference. This is the fiscal year of the invoice. This is the line item number in that document number. Let's assume this 1000 you are returning from this document, 18 all zeros 2. Let me copy this document number. I will come here. In the invoice reference, I'll put this and I'll hit enter. So it has detected this invoice belongs to 2023 fiscal year and this is the line item number 1 from this document. Enter and then save it. The moment you save it, you need to go to the customer line item report. Make sure you add a layout in which invoice reference field is visible. Let me select. If we have any layout, we do not have anything. Go to change layout. For all your customer account, vendor account, GL account, make sure you have your own layout. You can create the layout, save it as global layout. Not user specific, global layout or standard layout, so that you can log in with any of the user IDs, you will be able to check or use that layout. If you create user specific, that is available only for that user ID. We are looking for invoice reference. Let me go to I series. Invoice reference, I'll add it here. Copy. I'll save it. Now I'll put this as my name. Save it. It says standard must start with slash. Put a slash before the name. Continue. Now the layout has been updated. If you see the invoice reference on the credit memo, which is your DG 16 all zeros, it is giving invoice reference as what? 16 all zeros. But ideally we have given invoice reference called original invoice number, correct? In the credit memo, we have given original invoice number.
Yes, sir.
Now here it is not giving you that this credit memo is against this invoice number. Let us verify if this is updated. Let me display the document. If I open this customer line item, this is clearly containing credit memo, and this is the original invoice number 18 all zeros 2. If I go to this layout, 18 all zeros 2 is supposed to reflect here also. Let me refresh the data. It is not showing. Now is it showing?
It is showing,
This
sir.
is now updated because after changing the record, we have not updated the report. That report was displayed before updating invoice reference column. Now this is about your credit memo. While posting the invoice, while posting the credit memo, do you find any difference except vendor becoming a customer, except expense account becoming the sales revenue account? There will be no change in this entry posting. Next one, let me pass one more credit memo using the other screen, FB75.
The same field will get every 75 also.
Yeah, all the fields are available in 75, but in the different tabs, like you have payment tab, details tab, tax tab.
Okay.
Okay. Now let me take the customer account. In FB75, first make sure this is your company code, because by default, sometimes this may not be your company code. We may not be paying attention on the company code. Make sure you put this. And document type you need to make sure is visible and is editable. Sometimes this document type is not visible, sometimes not editable. In that case, you need to go to editing options on this screen. Click on editing option. Down below right hand side, you will find a setting called document type option. In the document type option, make sure you select document type ready for input. You can keep document type only in the display mode, which means user cannot change the document type, or you can put entry with short name or document type hidden. When you put document type hidden, the field of document type is not visible to the user. This field will disappear if you put document type hidden. Normally we don't put it because you may have to use different document types based on the nature of transaction. First, input your customer code, give the billing date, which is nothing but your sales date, and reference. I'll put sales number, sorry, return 02, credit memo or return 02. I'll put I am returning 2000 rupees. My credit memo amount or return amount is 2000. So far I have given customer code, but against the customer code, which posting key is not specified anywhere. In this screen, system will automatically take customer account into credit side. Okay, customer account into credit side is automatically taken by the system. You do not have to provide any posting key. Debit or credit is predefined. Next one, you have down below GL account related information. Here you have GL account. Mention your sales related GL account. Let's say domestic sales 311. And if you see debit credit indicator here, it shows a drop down wherein you can either debit or credit. Here what you can do, literally you can either change the position of GL account to debit or credit, but the customer position from credit you cannot change. You have no control to change the customer posting here. You must give customer account number only. System will take care of the customer account to be debited or credited. By default, your customer account will be debited in the credit memo transaction. For crediting a customer account, posting key is 11. That posting key 11 is predefined in this program. In this screen, the posting key will come automatically based on the programming. Now I'll put this amount same 2000. I'll go right side. Now this is another exercise that you have to do, line layout. This is called as line layout. After the amount, I need to input profit center, but profit center is very far. I have to move a lot of screen's right side to pick profit center. Every time I have to do this, which I am not okay with. I want this profit center to appear after my amount. Maybe somewhere left side, so that I don't have to scroll left right every transaction for every line item. This is called as line layout. Check how you can configure the line layout for FB60 screen, FB50 screen, FB70, FB75 screens. This is also one of the support ticket you can talk about. Profit center DEIN 02 or 01, enter. Enter. Here you have given debit as the posting key drop down, debit credit only. What posting key it is taking, you are also not sure. Whether it will take posting key 40, 50, 1, 11, 21, 31, you do not know, because it is not displaying any posting key. Posting key is predefined in the system for this kind of a single screen transactions. After giving this input, go to payment. In the payment tab, you will have invoice reference here. This invoice reference must be updated with original invoice number for which you are creating this credit memo for. This is credit memo number 2. This is the invoice number 18 all zeros 3. I'll copy 18 all zeros 3. I'll put this here in the invoice reference. I'll hit enter. There it was directly visible. Here it is not directly visible. It is there inside the payment tab. After that, you can go to details tab. In the details tab, you will find the document header text. This is your assignment, and this is the GL account to which this entry is being posted. In short, this customer account DMart is assigned to reconciliation account thus. And if you are using taxation, you will be checking if there are any tax postings here. So the only difference is everything you can view in the single screen here. That is why these are called as single screen transactions or enjoy transactions. No difference from that screen to this screen, except there you are giving all the information including the posting key, debit, credit. Here you are posting the same thing, but without giving posting keys. You are directly debiting or crediting one side, which is always the GL account. The rest and all is predefined in the system. Clear? Let me go to document, simulate this entry. Automatically system is taking posting key 11 for customer, 40 for sales. But if you go back, we did not give anywhere posting key 40, we did not give anywhere posting key 11, correct? Even though you did not give posting key anywhere, system is taking it. So that is because of the backend system functionality. That is why you prefer using these kind of screens in the real environment instead of F-22 or F-43. Okay, let me save this. Now this is a credit memo for 2000. When you post credit memo for 2000, it should affect your customer account balance. Current customer account balance is 29,000. After posting that credit memo for 2000, what should be the balance?
27,000.
It should become 27,000. Let me go to list and then refresh.
Sir, we need to like print out for that particular credit memo. Okay. Like we need to
Repeat.
give technical names. Uh, we created a credit memo right now. We posted one entry. Okay.
Right.
For that particular document, we need a printout, sir.
Print out.
Yes. It is not possible now. SAP standard is not there. We need for
Now, in
perfect.
SAP standard, you cannot take the printout for this. You need to develop a smart form for the printout.
Yeah. In my company, already like a buffer they created one T code for that one. But we are entering the document number, but it is not showing anything. They
You
are
need
asking
to
again, like, what are the fields required? Like, can you? tell me the what are the fields we need to take.
No, the ABAP program, whatever is already there, is it for credit memo or is it for invoice?
It is credit memo only, but what are the date? But that one it is not working now. They are asking like again fields, table names, like which field to which field it should have to report.
The program is already created. What you do, post one credit memo document and give that credit memo document to the ABAP consultant. What you do, take that document number, you pass this document number in the customer related tables, BS ID and BS AK.
Okay, can we give a BKPF also? No?
BKPF also you can give, but it is always recommended for the customer related transactions. You always refer customer transactions,
But we need like
customer
a
tables.
customer and like a debit credit no both at one only they created one only.
I'll show you. Okay, any other questions apart from this credit memo? I'll tell you that. The account balance is updated as 27,000 after posting this for 2,000 credit memo. This is all about your customer invoice posting, customer credit memo posting, which is exactly same to your vendor invoice, vendor credit memo, except the reverse functionality. Their debit, here credit, their vendor, here customer. Apart from that, there is no much differences. If you know accounts payable, you must know accounts receivable automatically. And make sure you are not confused with accounts payable and accounts receivable functionalities. Go to SE16N, go to BSID, company code is DEIN, this is your document number. This information, when you execute, you are getting the customer related transaction here. From here you refer the data related to customer. Okay. Next one, if you want the total document related information on the header part and on the line item part, you're working on ECC or S4HANA.
S4HANA.
If you're working on S4HANA, you can also go to AC Doka table. From AC Doka, you put this company code and input the document number, year 2023. Execute this. You will get both the line items. Here you get document number. If you go right side, you will find amounts. Profit center is available. And you can see the posting key, assignments, document date, posting period, which is header part of it, the user who posted, date on which it was posted, chart of account from which the GL accounts are coming, the nature of GL account. This is balance sheet account. This is P, primary cost element. This is your text. This is your customer code. Account type filter here. D is customer posting, S is GL posting. Whether this customer posting is open item management, yes, this is open item management, because all the reconciliation accounts are by default open item managed. Go right side, you'll get majoritarily all the information from this. This is your offsetting account. Customer account is offset with sales account is offset with customer account. This is your offset account type. This is your controlling document number for creating an entry in the CO side for the profit center posting. That's it. I think you get almost every information here. you can refer AC doca preferably, and make
Yeah.
sure if
Okay.
any other information which is missing, at that time you can refer basic BKPF instead of referring two tables, writing a complex code. It's always better you refer single table AC doca from which you can get majoritarily all the information.
Okay.
But for this credit memo, you need to take the credit memo format from your client. More or less, it will be the similar to your invoice, except the heading. For the invoice, you will give us invoice. If it is a credit memo, you'll put the heading as credit memo. But this format you need to take from your users. They will have the format which currently they are issuing to the customers. The same format you need to get it developed. Okay. Right. Any other questions?
Sir, how to rounding of the amount figure, sir? For example, if 100 rupees and 20 paisa, then it will, I mean, rounding off should be 100. Then 100 rupees is 100 rupees, 30 paisa. It rounding off should be 150 paisa, like that.
In which report? In
No,
report or in
actually,
posting?
in posting, sir, in FB70, one of my user has raised a ticket like that. It is taking an upper level, like she wanted to post some cents, some
For which
yen
currency?
document, yen, sir,
JPY?
Japanese yen. Yeah, Japanese yen. So there, it is rounding off in uppercase only. It is not pulling down.
Just check the currencies standard settings first, because these are standard settings. SAP NetWeaver general settings, currencies, set decimal places for currencies. They want decimals but with rounding, is it? Or they don't want a decimal at all?
They want decimal with rounding, sir.
If I go to JPY, JPY currently it's not updated anything. Let's check how JPY entries are currently appearing in the system. It's taking how many decimals?
Two decimals, sir.
For these things, you have to look if there are any SAP notes for this, because majorly these are the settings that you are making at client level, because you want this function to appear, you want this function to take place in all the transactions wherever value is appearing, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's not just that in one particular screen, in one particular report you wanted to do it. If that is the case, you can do the small enhancement on that particular report related program, but this change should take place in all the transactions, in all the reports wherever this JPY is extracted. I'll go to SE16N. Let me stop this recording meanwhile. I'll show that.